Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we'll talk to the executive director of an amazing nonprofit that's been taking care of kids in our area for more than half a century. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, as I'm watching the news across the country, almost every single newscast is talking about our children going back to school and whether our schools have the capability of helping them with all the anxiety and stuff that they're going through because of COVID and remote learning. And to talk about that today, John Mark Davidson. He is Executive Director of Christian Works for Children. Thanks for coming on the show.
Jeff, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, it is an absolute pandemic of anxiety that our children are facing right now, and I know your nonprofit is set up to deal with that.
Yes.
But let's start with your journey. How did you end up at Christian Works?
It's a great question. I've actually spent most of my life living outside the United States, living in Asia, also in Latin America. Came back to Dallas about 5 years ago, was working in ministry. Then I got to know Christian Works for Children as a nonprofit, and they were looking for a director. And I liked what I saw. And once you see, you can't unsee. And I really am honored now to be a voice piece and a champion for the good work that's happening at Christian Works.
And tell everybody who don't know, because you guys have been around for half a
Yes.
century, what's the mission of ministry?
It's a great question. We've actually been around since 1967. Christian Works began with just some individuals in a church who wanted to, with their lives and their resources, help the widow and the orphan. And so they organized this group, and it started out first working in adoption, foster care, and then over time it's morphed into working with mental and emotional health and children and their families. And to really narrow it down to what we really do, I think that where our sweet spot is we meet people in their darkest moments, and we walk beside them, and we give them the tools to make it through that in a healthy way.
And I encourage everybody to follow them on social media. They've got these great videos. Mm-hmm. We found one. It was shot a few years ago, but I think it does a great job telling the story. Let's go ahead and roll that.
My mom was one of the nicest, happiest individuals that I've known in this world. She was my best friend, and she was always there for us. We were not really a family, let's say. We were kind of facing difficulties as far as my dad was at home, but he wasn't that present for us. My grandparents were the ones that paid the bills. We lived in one room, one bedroom, all of us. So a change had to happen, and unfortunately it happened with my mom's cancer.
Our mom died in 2010, and hospice actually recommended Christian Works, Grief Works. Grief Works is a ministry that provides grief counseling to families and children. When I first started, I felt I didn't need it, but as an adult, and as I kept getting older, I realized that it really helped me. After that, I graduated high school. I started working as a camp counselor, especially after going to Camp Sunrise, and then I ended up working at a Montessori school, and I got my bachelor's degree and got engaged. I came back to Grief Works as an adult, and I was more open to counseling then. I wanted to talk, and I really also wanted to hear what other people had to say.
Recently, I received an email from Dulce. She wanted to volunteer to be a Grief Works facilitator.
I just thought that this was something very necessary. It helped me a lot at the time. So I just wanted to come back and be a part of something bigger than myself. It makes me feel really grateful, first of all, to God for getting me through that time of my life and just showing me that grief is a journey. I remember whenever my mom died, I was pretty angry and I had lost my faith, but now being older and my outlook on life, I'm glad that I get to bring my faith and it gets to be a part of this journey with me.
It was just an exhilarating and encouraging experience for me to know that from what we have done even 10, 11 years ago, it's paying fruit and it's paying forward for the glory of God.
At the time, we lost our mom. That left us with just one parent who is bringing in income. And so donating to Christian Works provides other families who may have lost a parent and that income to go to counseling at no cost. And I'm just thankful for all of the people that make this possible.
What an amazing nonprofit. You got to feel so rewarded to come to work every day and help people like that.
It really is rewarding to meet people in these areas and to be entrusted with the gift to walk alongside them in those times.
Well, we are just across the street, so you're our neighbors, and you were kind enough to invite me over for a tour, and I was so impressed with kind of the layout, and that's by design. You really want the children to feel comfortable. Can you describe what you put together?
Oh, 100%. You know, it said, if you want to change the world, you invest in the lives of children, because children are the next adults, the next decision makers, and at that age, they're still able to be formed and transformed and given the tools needed to be healthy. And also investing in their parents and their caregivers. And so we have these specific rooms in our facility for our free support groups, a ministry called Grief Works, which the video was about, that is specific for children who've lost a loved one, a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent. And every week we have these free sessions that come, and we use these rooms. And these rooms are really cool. They're specifically designed to create an environment where the child can feel free and safe to communicate. And we have sponsors, facilitators that are in there with crafts, and it's a great place, and we're proud of what we do.
And I think that's so cool because sometimes children might be invited into a clinical setting, and that's off-putting, right? It's almost like going to a doctor or a therapist.
That's right.
And when visiting your place, it really felt like a really comfortable place to play and express.
Yes, for sure. And we even have like art therapy room where we could have a counselor in with the child, and they could be painting or drawing, and in that process they're able to work through some of the feelings that they have and get to a place where instead of becoming bitter, they're better.
That's powerful. We've got some pictures that we took off of Facebook. I want to put them up on the screen. It's Becoming Mom Community Baby Shower. Tell us what we're looking at.
Oh, Becoming Mom is also one of the coolest ministries we have. This is a ministry that's specific for pregnant women or also parents with children under 3 years old. And at Christian Works, we have a team of professional therapists, licensed professional therapists and counselors. And in this program, we offer free counseling for any woman who is pregnant or any parent with a child under 3 years old. And this particular event, we also we have giveaways. And this was a baby shower where we just invited all of the clients to come. We handed out diapers and wipes and toys and clothes. And we had so many of these moms come, and they left with diapers and wipes and also a big smile on their face, knowing that they've been seen and they're cared for and they're not alone in their journey of becoming a parent.
John, let's talk about the school systems because they do, a great job, but they're really not set up to deal with emotional issues. They're teaching the 3 R's.
Yes.
So how does an organization like yours come in and work well with school districts?
That's a great question, and we've been fortunate enough because of the deep need that you speak of. I think schools have been grasping to partner with organizations, and we've been one of the lucky ones as well to have been identified as an organization doing the good work. And so we have a partnership with Fort Worth ISD, with some other schools in the Mid-Cities area, and we send our therapists into the schools. And we have a curriculum they go through, and week by week, children who've experienced loss, ambiguous loss, a loss of a loved one, They can work through the curriculum with a licensed therapist. And again, we really promote going through the stages of grief in a healthy way so that they can be a healthy human being.
Yes. What should parents be watching for? I mean, if a parent is concerned that their child might need a service like yours, what are some warning signs?
That's a great question. You know, I think so much has to do with communication. You know, if you can notice that your child has shut down or is not speaking or is refraining from sharing their feelings, you know, these are some early warning signs. And I think that's one of the benefits of counseling, of therapy, is creating a third space where a child, a teen, can enter into a position where they're free to begin to express their feelings and share. And so I think if there's those struggles where you can sense, and parents have that sixth sense, if they know their child is closing down, if they're not able to express their feelings, what we do really helps out. And we also use crafts. There's talking and communicating, but also many times what we found in these programs is that children express their grief, their pain, through art and through crafts and through writing. And so in our grief work ministry and our kid work ministry that works with kids who are going through divorce, we also incorporate a lot of these crafts and use their hands, their ability to create things.
Very cool. I can see why you're so successful leading on this kind of legacy nonprofit. Some nonprofits never get to be as old as yours, so that's got to be.
Thank you.
It's got to feel good. We know that it's a nonprofit, so you need donations.
Yes.
There's a couple opportunities coming up where people can get involved. Is
For
that
sure,
right?
for sure. The first thing, of course, is North Texas Giving Day, which is September 22nd. And if you go to our website, all the information is there. But we are actually accepting donations right now. We have a goal of $70,000 this year. We already have a match of $20,000, so we're trying to reach that goal. So that's one area where someone could give and support. That'd be a huge blessing for us. Secondly, every year we have a huge fundraiser. And I'm so excited this year for the first time ever. This has been going on for many years, you know, these fundraisers. But this year, we've rented out the entire Dallas Arboretum over at White Rock Lake.
Yes.
And anyone who comes will get free, get entry at 5, have the whole park to themselves, and then at 6 p.m. we'll begin our auction where we'll share what God is doing through this ministry. So we'd love for anyone to come to that. Tickets are actually on sale now, and they can be found at our website.
Okay, speaking of the website, let's put that up on the screen. It's christian-works.org. John Mark Davidson, thanks for coming on the show.
Jeff, it's been a complete honor. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.